Continuing the series of weekly contest 275, let's look at the second question in the list, which is minimum swaps needed to group all ones together. Let's go to the question and let's try to get the maximum out of the question. In this question, we are given a circular array. Circular array is the array in which the first element and the last element are joined together. Also, it is specified that the array can only contain two types of element, either a 0 or a 1. What we need to do, we need to return the minimum number of swaps required to group all ones together at any location in the input array. Let's try and understand it by an example. This is the input array that is given to us. The elements are 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. What you can do, you can swap these two up. So once you have swapped these two up, the elements would be updated as 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0. As you can see, all the ones are grouped together in a single unit, and the minimum swaps needed to perform this operation is 1, and 1 becomes the answer. There are more such possibilities that exist in the input array, and you can walk through them by yourself. Now let's quickly move on to the presentation where I'll talk about on how to go about solving this question. Minimum swaps to group all ones together. Leetcode 2134. It's a medium level question on Leetcode, and I also feel the same. The approach that we are going to use to solve this question would be a two-pointer approach. We have solved plenty of questions in the past regarding this approach, and for those who have been following along, I would like to rate this question in easy category. So let's try and understand the question and how two-pointer approach is actually working on this. The question says we are given an input array and the elements can be either 0 or 1. Also, it was specified in the question that the array is a circular in nature. So how do we address circular array questions? We go and append the same array one more time at the end of the input array so that we don't have to be cautious about the circular case explicitly. Once done, what we are going to do, we'll duplicate the same array at the end of the input array and we'll create a new array which is amalgamation of these two arrays. Now what we need to do, we need to group all ones together as one single unit. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna count the number of ones that are present in this input array, and for this case it turns out to be 3. We can easily see that there are 3 ones present in this input array, 1, 2 and 3. Now let's start the iteration, and I'll simply apply a two-pointer approach. Let me just take 2 pointers here. First one is starting as this ending, and starting points to the same here, and I'll create a sliding window of size 3, and let's start the sliding window. Right now both of them are pointing to 0, 0 index, so we are not concerned. The sliding window size is not yet met. Let's increment the end pointer. And right now you can see that the end points to the second index and starts point to the 0 index. The size of the sliding window is 3. What we will do, we'll count the number of ones present, the number of zeros present in the sliding window. What is the count? The count turns out to be 2. That means these 2 zeros are to be updated. For making this sliding window consisting of all ones, 2 swaps are needed, and the answer corresponding to this particular sliding window turns out to be 2. One possible solution is this. Let's proceed ahead. Let's update the sliding window end pointer, and it gets updated to this. Similarly, since the sliding window size has been updated to 4, which is not a valid case, we need to increment the start pointer as well. So start gets here. Let me just change the color of pen for better understanding. Now again, the sliding window size has been updated to 3. And for this particular window, how many zeros are present? There is only 1 zero present. That means only one swap operation is needed to make this sliding window consisting of all ones. The answer becomes 1. Since the previous answer was 2, 1 is lower than 2, so it gets replaced by 1. Let's proceed ahead, and let me just change the color of pen. Again, what we are going to do, we'll increment the end pointer, and the size of the sliding window has been incremented to 4. What we need to do in such case, we need to increment the start pointer as well. So start also gets updated. Now the next window under consideration is this. Again, the number of zeros corresponding to this window turns out to be 1. Only one swap is needed, so the answer still remains as 1. Let's proceed ahead. Next we are going to look out for this window. The number of zeros in this window is again 1. The answer still remains 1. Let's proceed ahead. Next we look out for this window. The number of zeros in this window turns out to be 2. it is lower, it is higher than the value that we have stored in an answer variable, which is 1, so we'll ignore it. Let's proceed ahead. Next we see this window. Here 3 swaps will be needed, so we'll skip it. Next we have this window. Here 2 swaps will be needed because there are 2 zeros. We'll skip it. Here again we'll need 2 swaps. We'll skip it. Here we'll see 1 swap, so the answer remains the same. Next again we have this window. There is 1 0. The answer remains the same. Next we have this window. Where there is 1 0, the answer remains the same. Next we have this window. The answer is 2 corresponding to this window. And once we are done with the iteration, as we have reached the terminal position of the input array. So after the iteration, what is the value stored in our result? The value stored in our result variable is 1. The answer becomes 1. I hope you got the context. What we are going to do, in order to take care of the circular array, we are going to append the input array at the end of the given array and create a new array out of it. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to count the number of 1's present in this input array, count 1's, and then I'll apply the 2-pointer approach, and I'll create a sliding window across the input array and count the number of zeros present in each window, and that count would signify the number of swaps needed so as to make that window consisting of all 1's. Now let's quickly walk through the coding section and conclude this approach. The time complexity of this approach is order of n, and space complexity is constant space. We are not using any extra space for solving this question. Here I have created a variable that stores the length of nums, the number of elements present in nums. I have created a variable so as to count the total number of 1's present in my input array. I have created a new array, circular, and the size of this input array is equal to 2n. Then I went ahead and iterated through the input array, nums array, and I filled in the circular array appropriately. Circular array at ith index is equal to nums at ith index, and circular array at n plus ith index is also equal to nums at ith index. Remember to update both these indexes, I and n plus I. And I have also updated the total number of 1's present in my input array. Now comes the 2-pointer approach. I have taken a start variable, an end variable, a 0 count variable that counts the number of zeros present in any window, and a minimum 0 count that is initialized to integer.max value. I started the iteration, and till the time my end is less than total 1's, I simply checked whether my current end element happens to be 0. If it is, then I incremented my 0 count variable. Then I have started the loop up till the circular array.length, and with each iteration I am incrementing the pointer n plus plus. First of all, I'm going to check if my circular at the end index turns out to be 0. That means I'm going to increment the 0 count variable, and in case my end minus start plus 1, the window size that I'm currently at turns out to be equal to the total 1's that I have in the input array, then this is one probable solution for me for 0 count, and that would be equal to math.min, minimum zeros that I have identified so far, comma 0 count. Otherwise, I'm going to check if my window size has exceeded and more than the total 1's. I simply check if my element at the starting index, circular at the start value, happens to be 0. Then I decrement the 0 count variable, and I update my min 0 to math.min min 0 comma 0 count. I increment the start pointer. Once I'm done with this, I simply return minimum 0 variable that I have updated while iterating through the circular array, and this has been accepted. Let's go back. The time complexity of this approach is order of n. So does the space complexity, you can say, because we are using a circular array of size n, but I don't want to add this circular array because it is acting as the input array. So I would say space complexity is order of 1. This brings me to the end of today's session. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for viewing it. Have a great day ahead and stay tuned for more updates from Coding Decoded. I'll see you tomorrow with another fresh question, but till then, goodbye.